folks, and welcome to your outlet for outdoors and Western lifestyle news, The Ben Show. I am your host, Rebecca Wanner, a.k.a. Beck, and you know we say this each and every week. Get a hold of us anytime. Call or text 305-900-2363. Again, that's 305-900-2363, or you can always drop an email to bendradioshow@gmail.com. Ryan Long Shotgun, as always, is my producer and co-host, Jeff Tigger Erhardt. Yes, spring is here, and get this, Tigger brought this, I'm going to call it a flashback from eons ago to our childhood, but he brought this up the other day and said, I could go for an orange Julius.
Well, I said a strawberry Julius.
Oh, yes, that's right. You
Not
needed
the orange
panache.
Julius.
You weren't a fan of the orange Julius, right?
Mm-mm. My mom would get those all the time, but she would get them like with extra pulp,
Ooh.
and I thought that was just ooey.
Well, I didn't know
So
you
I
could get
like
them with extra pulp.
Well, it seemed like it was extra pulp in it. I wasn't a fan of the orange Julius. I liked the strawberry Julius, but I think it was only available for a little time, and then they shut down or something.
Well, they're still around. Did you know that orange Julius back?
Really?
Yes, get this. Back, first of all, let's go way back here on orange Julius. Did you know they are going to be celebrating 100 years in 2026?
Have you looked up where the nearest orange Julius is to us, or do you have no idea?
There's one very close to us, because did you know that orange Julius was purchased by Dairy Queen back in 1987? And so that's what made me realize why in recent years I've seen the orange Julius, the little sign in Dairy Queen's DQs.
So you can get an orange Julius when you go to Dairy Queen. You can get a peanut butter parfait and an orange Julius.
And have a sugar overload.
I had absolutely no idea. Well, there you go. The sunny slopes long ago.
But speaking of things like that, also spring-wise, I wanted to throw it out there. We talked about this a little bit in our daily shows, but prom season is here. So we want to see some of your photos. We want to see some of the promposals maybe the kids have done. Send them our way. Again, you can email bendradioshow@gmail.com, or you could text us a picture. And that number again is 305-900-2363.
I want to see the rides.
Oh, the vehicles.
That they go to prom with, because I've seen a lot where dad will clean up the stock trailer.
Yes, the whole group is in the trailer.
That, or in the semi, or I've seen, the tractor pulling the bale wagon, or the manure spreader. I've seen that. I've seen a little horse-drawn buggy.
For those of you whose tractor got borrowed to go to prom with, I got to be honest, is that like the only time the tractor ever got cleaned?
That was the only time. That's when dads were glad to see that their sons or daughters were going to prom, because then they would get the tractor cleaned. And I guarantee it probably wasn't dad that was cleaning it either.
Well, I also find it interesting in common times and such like that. You'll see camo brought out. You'll see just different flair. I'm going to put it that way. The kids can really be unique these days.
Bougie.
Bougie.
That's the word, Beck. You got to get with the times. Bougie.
All right. Well, this crossed my wires as something that's trending on TikTok this last week. And I'm going to kind of do a little debunk on this. But here is what some trending TikTok trend setters, we'll put it that way, we're trying to tell folks that you can actually arrive at airports 15 to 20 minutes and still get on the plane.
I'm going to call bull beep on that.
All right. So just so you know, the standard domestic flight, you're supposed to be there 2 hours early. If you're flying international, you're supposed to be there 3 hours early. 15 to 20 minutes before departure, and they're still going to let you on the flight and get out of here. You can try it, but expect to possibly not be allowed to get on. Secondly, if you end up with a seatmate besides you that gives you an ugly, dirty look, I don't blame them.
We are TSA pre-check, and we don't get through that fast.
Well, I can tell you this. If you are checking any baggage, you've got to be there 45 minutes early.
But let's just say you're not checking a bag. Let's say you're carrying on and you have TSA pre-check, and maybe you are the first class or something. I don't know, whatever that is. You still aren't going to get through that fast. Because when you go through TSA, they do random checks, random checking your bag and things like that. So what
Tigger is saying,
there's no way.
Don't push the envelope. Just don't even try. Don't push it. Don't become that guy that could hold up the plane.
And I'm the one that gets there real early.
Okay,
That's just me.
You go on the opposite part of the spectrum, honey. You get us there well in advance.
It's better to be prepared, Beck.
See how nicely I tried to say that
I
about
know.
you?
I know. But there's been times we've cut it a little bit close.
There has been.
Just
A
saying.
little too close.
Just
a little
saying.
too close. For those of you, though, that are ready for temperatures to get even warmer out and live in the northern part of the United States where you see a lot of migration of geese, guess what the migration is on? I've been seeing different posts on Facebook, people showing hundreds. I mean, we're talking thousands and thousands of geese all migrating north out of North Dakota on up into Canada. So I think it's fair to say that planting isn't going to be far away.
Well, I know we've seen pictures, a lot of guys in the field already.
Well, I want to give a shout out to a special school out in Waconia, Minnesota. Listen to this. They're located southeast of the Twin Cities. Waconia High School's Conservation Club has been inspiring students and the community for 18 years, blending outdoor adventures with environmental stewardship. From ice fishing events to cleanups, the club is passionate about connecting kids to nature. One of their most exciting projects this spring was revitalizing a 13-acre forest near their elementary school, where students worked with forestry experts to restore the space. They've been planting trees and just creating better walking trails altogether. The Conservation Club started out really small with just a handful of students, but it's grown into a vibrant 180-member group. Pretty neat if you ask me. These full-fledged members, they get this. You think about earning letters like for your
Letterman's jacket, is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, I could not say the word Letterman's jacket.
Because maybe you didn't get one. No, you did. You were a good athlete.
Thank you. But anyway, yes. So you think of always sports getting the letters, or maybe band or choir. Get this. You can earn a letter in high school as well for being part of the Conservation Club at their school.
That's cool.
All right. So big old tip of the hat to Waconia's High School's Conservation Club. We love what you're doing. And with that, I think we're going to take a short break. Crew, stay where you are. The Ben Show will be back right after this.
Is there that particular pair of boots or that shirt or pair of jeans that you just can't find anywhere else? Check out Medora Boot and Western Wear. Medora Boot and Western Wear is the go-to for boots, jeans, especially jackets, and even those hard-to-find accessories that make perfect gifts. Check out MedoraBoot.com, or better yet, give Kim a call at 701-623-1005 and tell Kim that Tigger and Beck sent you. For the latest in Western and outdoor practical and fashionable wear, there is only one, Medora Boot and Western Wear.
The hunt, the stories, the memories. This is Jake Fenrick with JB's Wildlife Designs. Let me capture and preserve that hunt, that story, that memory with a trophy mount to last you a lifetime. Look us up on Facebook at JB's Wildlife Designs to see samples of our taxidermy, and reach out at any time with any and all questions you may have. This is Jake Fenrick with JB's Wildlife Designs. Taxidermy is my passion. Let me preserve yours.
I'm just sitting out here watching airplanes
Country music's Gary Allen.
take off.
Live in concert Thursday, May 15th at the world-famous Miles City Bucking Horse Sale in Miles City, Montana. One of country music's hottest performers with special guest Tiger Lily Gold. Tickets on sale now at buckinghorsesale.com. Gary Allen with special guest Tiger Lily Gold at the world-famous Miles City Bucking Horse Sale in Miles City, Montana.
Hello, folks, and welcome back to your outlet for outdoors and Western lifestyle, The Ben Show. I am your host, Rebecca Wanner, a.k.a. Beck, and right along shotgun, my co-host, Jeff Tigger Erhardt. Now, listen up to this story that unraveled earlier this week. A dramatic rescue unfolded on Alaska's Kenai Peninsula this week after a pilot and his two daughters were stranded for hours on the wing of their half-sunken plane in a frozen lake. The family's plane, a Piper PA-12 Super Cruiser, crashed Sunday, March 23rd that evening during a sightseeing trip. As night fell, the pilot and his daughters, who have not been identified, were forced to cling to the wing of the plane, waiting in the freezing cold for help. It wasn't long before The tight-knit community of Alaska's bush pilots sprang into action. When the plane was first reported missing, local pilots immediately rallied to join the search. By Monday morning, a group of volunteers took to the skies in their own planes, hoping to spot the wreckage. A local bush pilot who had seen a Facebook post about the missing family was the first to spot the plane, and with the family waving from the wing, signaling they were still alive. After the local pilot radioed in the location, the Alaska State Troopers and the National Guard were quickly alerted. The National Guard sent in a C-130 transport plane and a helicopter for the rescue operation, but conditions were challenging. The ice was too soft to land on, and the rotor wash threatened to blow the children off the wing. Despite these difficulties, the National Guard performed a flawless, one-of-a-kind recovery, saving the family from the icy wilderness. The pilot and his daughters were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The rescue, which involved the quick thinking and coordination of local pilots, the Alaska State Troopers, and the National Guard, I gotta say, this is kind of a testament to the strength of Alaska's community, and we are happy to hear that this family is home safely.
And you said they found it on Facebook is where they first?
That is
Something good came from Facebook.
Yes, that is what was good that came from Facebook, is that when friends and family realized this plane had not returned Sunday evening, they went about notifying the public by posting it to Facebook. And of course, those posts went viral. They got enough pilots in the air and they brought this family home.
Now, since we are officially in spring, this was all the buzz here the last couple weeks, this new show, or I should say it's in a new season, and that is the program that airs on Fox called Farmer Wants a Wife.
Yes.
It's in season 3.
Farmer Wants a Wife. Season 3 just kicked off back on March 20th. And for that, they're bringing back a whole new crop of farmers. Let's put it that way.
And there's 4 of them, right?
Yes.
4
just
guys.
So you know, Farmer Wants a Wife is a dating show that follows 4 farmers from all around the country who are looking for love. Each bachelor will bring home a small group of women to their respective farms to see if they can handle the realities of farm life and fall in love while they're at it. And this year's show is being hosted by Kimberly Williams Paisley, the wife of Brad Paisley. And I was watching her on TV on the Today Show. She was talking about how she felt a real connection because she was a city girl who fell in love with
a country boy. And
yes, her
was
country boy.
Thrown. Actually, that was very interesting watching that on the Today Show. And she said how she was thrown into this country way of life. But have you ever watched any of because this is season 3, have you watched any of the prior seasons or prior episodes, I should say?
I did give it a try last season. I watched not even a full episode. I'm sorry. I have to admit, I had to change it. I had to change the channel. I couldn't watch it anymore.
So why did you have to change it? Because you thought it was ridiculous or it didn't portray things properly or
all the above?
Okay.
But I think I have to look at myself in the mirror, okay? I am a country gal, born and raised, like 4th or 5th generation farming and ranching families. So, of course, I'm going to be a little more biased. I'm going to be looking at the
You're a little more judgmental of it, maybe.
I'm going to be looking at the technicalities and saying, well, you're not doing that right at this time of year or, X, Y, or Z. So I might be a little hard on both the guys and the gals.
Well, and, let's compare this to Yellowstone for a second, because you and I have come out and we have said that we are not Yellowstone fans. Nothing against it. It's just not our cup of tea. And everybody knows the reason why, that it just wasn't our cup of tea. But if you look on the outside in, look at what Yellowstone did for the industry and for agriculture. What's that you always say? It puts butts in the seats?
I always say that is absolutely, that's where I have to take a step back. Because yes, Yellowstone, along with 1883, 1923, all these different spinoffs they've had. And then now with Farmer Wants a Wife, which, by the way, this has been a very successful show the last couple of seasons.
Very.
It literally has put butts in the seats at rodeos. People are buying more of our products. So
they're buying hats. They're buying boots.
They're putting beef in the freezer.
Yeah, they're eating a steak.
People are looking for farm-raised eggs. I mean, it's really helped agriculture all the way around. And on top of it, we're on this whole popularity scope going on right now that's totally zeroed in on country living. Look at the country music world. Everybody is just, I mean,
the crossover of genres into
oh
the
my gosh,
into country
when
music.
Beyonce
Okay.
wants to put out a country album and now she's doing a tour, I think there's something to say. Country is cool.
There you go. I was going to say country is popular, but that's a better way. Country is cool. Well, here's my take on this is I know that we're going to be looking at this thing through a microscope, right? We're going to be trying to find everything that's wrong, and we're going to be making judgment calls on everything. But let's back up a little bit and say, what does this actually do for agriculture?
For the economy.
For agriculture, for the economy. I get it. We want to make sure that we portray those people that are farmers and ranchers properly, but this does a lot for agriculture because there is something romantic about you make your living at the end of a dirt road.
Okay.
And that's maybe only one day out of the year for those of us that do it. Let me just be honest with you. That's the reality of the situation. So I'm in favor of these shows as long as they portray it properly. And in my opinion, the little bit that I've seen is that they do. I know there may be, everything is staged. I get it. You know, you have to stage where at this one particular contestant's home, you know, okay, we're going to move cattle this day. That's staged, of course, that they're going to have these saddle horses and they're going to go move 5 pairs of cows and all that. I get it.
Well, I know you and I would both love to see them just bring back Lonesome Dove, right? And do a 3-part series like they did back in 1989.
There you go. Bring back Lonesome Dove.
I caught it the other day on a channel I was flipping through, and I hadn't seen it in a while. And you came out, and you're like, "Wow, they digitally remastered that." And I go, "I know. It looks like it could be aired today." But you know, yes,
Country is cool.
You can catch the latest episode of Farmer Wants a Wife Thursday nights on Fox at 8 Central Time. Tune in and let us know your thoughts. Call or email us 305-900-2363. Again, that's call or text 305-900-2363 or email bendradioshow@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. The clock shows it's time for a quick break. We'll be back with more of The Ben Show.
Hey guys and gals, this is John Arman with Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV. Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV travels the back roads to the backwaters in pursuit of the ultimate adventure in hunting and fishing. Join Team UOA every week for exciting action in the crosshairs of the outdoors. Catch Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV on YouTube, Amazon Prime, and make sure to follow Team UOA on Facebook and Instagram to share in the ultimate outdoor adventure.
You've waited, dreamt of a hunting adventure, and now have harvested that trophy of a lifetime. Keep the memory alive with a custom-designed mount, preserved as a work of art. Check out our approved taxidermist depending on your location. The award-winning Schneider Taxidermy is located in Helena, Montana. When hunting the Dakotas, JB's Wildlife Designs in Mandan, North Dakota. Then Shadron Creek Taxidermy in Nebraska. And for the Central USA, Little Rack Taxidermy in Macomb, Illinois. Reach out to The Ben Show and let us help you find the right taxidermist.
Get ready for the Western experience of a lifetime. The world-famous Miles City Buck and Horse Sale is back and better than ever. Join us May 15th through the 18th in Miles City, Montana. From the finest bucking stock to electrifying horse racing, this event has it all. Don't miss out on the Pendleton Whiskey Kickoff Concert featuring Gary Allen and special guests Tiger Lily Gold. Mark your calendars and saddle up for the world-famous Miles City Buck and Horse Sale, where the spirit of the West comes alive. Get your tickets at buckinghorsesale.com.
Welcome back to your outlet for outdoors and Western lifestyle, The Ben Show. I am your host, Rebecca Wanner, a.k.a. Beck, and riding along shotgun, my co-host, Jeff Tigger Erhardt. For those of you looking to buy something new for the closet or to wear out and about, Skechers has launched its new outdoor collection for both men and women. If you haven't heard about this, it's designed for travelers, hikers, and nature enthusiasts, is what they say. And this is a collaboration between Skechers, that we all know for the shoes, with Goodyear, who's known for their tires. These shoes feature advanced technologies for durability, comfort, and performance, with weather-resistant materials, memory foam insoles, and Goodyear developed rubber soles for superior grip, is what they say.
Skechers and Goodyear, not a sponsor
Yet. Yeah, exactly. This They're not a sponsor
Little
whatsoever,
plug
but
there.
this came across my wire. And I know a lot of folks that love their Skechers, which is why I was going to let you know about this whole new outdoor collection.
So they're like an outdoor, like a running shoe or a hiking shoe?
Hiking
or
shoe.
with
Yes.
Goodyear tread on them. Well,
Yes. What a good spin on
by
it,
golly,
right?
That's a winner.
And other travel news, too. A deadline is approaching quickly that we all need to know about, and that is in regards to a real ID compliant driver's license if you live within the United States. Little reminder, starting May 7th, you're going to need that real ID compliant driver's license ID or an ID card with that real ID. It's like a star that they put on it.
Yeah, like a little gold one in the corner.
If you don't have one of those and you do not have a passport with you, get this, you're not going to be able to board a domestic flight or access several federal facilities if that's something you also tend to visit. So just a reminder, you got a few weeks left, but don't be waiting, okay? Go and get this done. We've gotten our real IDs on our driver's licenses. It wasn't that hard, but just make sure you check with your local DMV or go to the state's DMV office website, depending on what state you're on, because you more than likely will need to bring forms of identification, and it could be something like a social security card, it could be your birth certificate, along with a bill that has your name on it.
And a lot of times when you go to their websites, they say this is what you need to get the real ID.
Yes.
They spell it out for you. But just a reminder, because I know a lot of people completely forgot about that.
And while you're checking your ID, you're pulling it out of your wallet right now. This is also a good time to double check your passports. If in case you need to get them renewed, don't be waiting until you're behind the game on it, behind the ball on it. We'd hate for you to not go on a trip that you have been waiting and saving for.
Now, I've got a little PSA for everyone. This one is from the Texas Parks and Wildlife, and, the bluebonnets are just beautiful this time of year. Been seeing this all over Facebook.
I've never seen a bluebonnet in
They
person.
are gorgeous. They're absolutely beautiful. Well, the Texas Parks and Wildlife is reminding us of what could be lurking below in the grass. You're just going to love that I'm bringing this up because they did post a number of pictures of, I'll be darned if here aren't some western diamondback rattlesnakes that are coming out. It's getting warm. They're all bundled up, and there they are peeking their little heads out of the bluebonnets.
Seriously, you had to remind us to be snake aware.
Absolutely. It's 'tis the season because a lot of people are facing drought right now. I mean, I know there's all kinds of weather anomalies and there's fires going on. Prayers to all those people fighting that. But because it's been so dry, a lot of places haven't really had winter or just a little bout of winter. That's it. And man, we're into spring. I mean, knock on wood, we could still have some cold weather where we're at, but it sure seems like we are moving right into springtime and nasty winter is behind us, and it's the season, and those snakes are coming out earlier and earlier. So just a reminder to watch where you're stepping and you're putting your fingers, and if there's that board that's laying over there by the shop or something, just a reminder, Beck, you never know.
Why is it every time there's a snake,
a little buzzworm?
It's like I think they come at me for unforeseen reasons just to make my life even worse. I'm sitting here thinking last summer out there digging in the flower bed connected to the house.
Oh, is that when you were in the strawberries and the one went over your foot and you started screaming and I didn't know what was going on? I thought somebody was hurt.
I was barefoot, enjoying my garden, and right over the top of my barefoot, I screamed, I ran around the yard, I'm yelling, we're selling the place. He's sitting there going, what?
I'm just bringing this up, dear. I know you do not like snakes whatsoever, but I'm just bringing this up because I'm the same way. I don't think twice about it, and you go here, and then all of a sudden you see one, and you think it's the end of the world.
It is the end of the world when I see one.
They're coming out earlier and earlier and earlier. Just want to bring that up.
Okay, so other than the snakes coming out and about, there's also been, we've noticed, our place has been very dry. We had a very open winter, which is a little scary going into spring and summer already, feeling like we are in drought status. Well, we are in drought.
In fact, I would say most of our listening audience is in some form of drought. I mean, it's tough this year.
It is going to be a tough one. I agree.
Hoping and praying for rain.
But what are those other signs that you see that it's A-okay to start saying, yes, spring is here? I mean, the other day I ended up seeing those gross, creepy little worms.
Oh, those ones that we talk about in the fall that inundate our shop.
They were crawling across the concrete.
Yeah, those little black worms, you step on them and they pop.
And I'm like, what are you doing back?
They are out the earliest that I have ever seen, at least in my opinion. It's the earliest I've ever seen those little black worms out.
So what else are you folks looking for that tells you spring is here? Are you seeing the crocuses? Are you maybe in Michigan and you're seeing the daffodils?
The bluebonnets that I mentioned down in Texas. The bluebonnets, which are beautiful, by the way. They should send in pictures of the bluebonnets.
I would love to see those.
Some of our listeners in Texas. They're gorgeous.
I've never been to Texas in the spring, so I have not gotten to see them.
And remember, I was going to pick you bluebonnets that time, and you said, don't do it. It's illegal if you cut them out of the road ditch.
All right, just to clarify a little bit, there's not a law against picking bluebonnets in Texas. The whole thing is you need to be aware of where you are at. Don't go trespassing on private property and then going and picking bluebonnets. Now, that's a big no-no. We don't want you in trouble for that. And that's a wrap for this week, folks. Remember, keep sending us in any of your questions you might have if you know of something spot-worthy for us to share, as well as your area's field reports. That number again, 305-900-2363. Again, that's 305-900-2363, or you can always email bendradioshow@gmail.com. And if you missed part of this show or want to hear past episodes, you can find them all on the website, thebendshow.com. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcasting app and to The Ben Show YouTube channel. Finally, a big thanks to all of you listeners that came along, and whether you're coming or going today, stay with us as we ranch it up. And remember to keep up with me back all week long by following The Bend on Facebook and on Instagram @The Bend Show. This is Rebecca Wanner. Catch Beck if you can next week on The Bend.